Hello indie game fans, we have quite an eclectic mix of indie games and genres this week, but as I always say, something for everyone, so let's see what catches your eye in this edition of Indie Gaming this week. Let's begin with Vivid Night, a very cute party-based roguelike dungeon crawler from a Japanese developer that does look polished but could be rather niche as well. Combining a turn-based JRPG with a roguelike is neat, where there's a whole gem and jewel system that you can use to boost your party as they delve into the dungeon to defeat the Black Witch. Something a little different for the genre with a cute aesthetic which kicks us off. I'm pretty impressed with the monochrome adventure game, The Longest Road on Earth, a title that has you experiencing short stories through the eyes of 4 characters, but interestingly has a lack of dialogue or text. Instead, this has 20 original songs with haunting lyrics as the backdrop, being somewhat of a different experience in the genre and is one to watch for the week. Three titles with 3 innovative takes is quite a sweet start for the week, where Boy Beats World is a rhythm action-adventure title that looks fun. I love rhythm games, but the traditional constraints of the genre do turn some people off, so to see rhythm elements seep their way into other genres is neat, where you have to attack and dodge on the beat. You're trying to liberate the various districts of the city from robots, exploring, learning moves, and purchasing upgrades as you go along, making it quite the interesting crossover between the two genres.
I see you, Querent, still burning with questions.
Where am I?
You'll find out soon enough.
Nothing fancy about Strangeland, but it's a traditional point-and-click adventure game from the makers of the excellent Primordia from 2012, so given the pedigree, of course it's of interest. Explore a surreal carnival with some of the creepiest imagery that I've seen in recent memory, so for the mix of horror and adventure, this is a title to check out.
A shadow locked away up there, festering.
You know how this ends. It was never a matter of winning, just a question of how much you would lose.
I mentioned Pecaminosa in my video previewing the best upcoming games of the month, where this long in development title finally makes it to launch. It's a self-styled police action RPG where you play as a disgraced detective trying to help the ghost of a mobster as he clears his sins in order to get into heaven. Whereas the mortal embodiment of this wish, you have to pick up your guns and hit the streets. course, I love the pixel art here, and if the tracks in the trailer are anything to go by, this developer should nail the setting as well. Interestingly, there are Fallout-like RPG systems and stat checks, adding another layer to this game, making it a promising one to watch. Quite a number of bigger games of interest this week, beginning with Earth Defense Force World Brothers, the alien bug shooting title that's so bad it's good, getting the voxel treatment which does catch my eye more so than the visuals in the base series. We also get the Steam and Xbox launch of MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, after previously being an Epic exclusive, where I played quite a bit of MechWarrior 2 as a kid, and it's still crazy to me to see these long-running franchises getting new entries in the modern day.
The gates of the celestial realm were thrown open. We will take back what the dead have ravaged.
Yet another Warhammer game makes its launch, this time with fantasy rather than 40k, where Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormground is the first strategy video game in the Age of Sigmar rework of the classic tabletop wargame, looking impressive visually and will be for strategy game fans.
The way to Thanator's manse is open at long last.
The remake of Monster World 4 from 1994, Wonder Boy Asha in Monster World, follows the trend of such remakes of the Wonder Boy series, where the Dragon's Trap remake and the new entry, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, have been very well received, where this title launches on PS4 and Switch this week, with a PC version to follow next month.
Tight, cause you're all going to play a little game of fate for me.
Finally, if you enjoyed the murder mystery of Danganronpa, the team's next title, World's End Club, will be of interest and looks pretty neat.
The 12 of you, known as the Go-Getters Club, must now survive this game of fate at all costs.
I don't want to die yet! Sorry to scare you all, but the game is cancelled!
The game is suddenly called off. You escape the theme park and get a glimpse of Japan, but everyone's vanished. Set off on a captivating journey across the country that blends side-scrolling action with suspenseful narrative.
The one behind the whole game of fate!
As you make your way back home to Tokyo, You'll alternate between working solo and teaming up with the group to overcome challenges and monsters that stand in your way. What awaits you all at the end of your journey? The battle for survival begins in World's End Club, venturing onto Nintendo Switch, May 28th.
Smaller Games of the Week begins with Alchemy Emporium, one that's pretty self-explanatory as you run your own little shop, purchasing ingredients and brewing potions in order to serve your customers. With 228 different skills and 18,000 different potions, there will be plenty to do here and does have a great look as well.
My origins have already been told, but my destiny has yet to be fulfilled.
I love Diablo-style action RPGs, so of course, Aluna, Sentinel of the Shards got my attention, although I do hope that the developers don't mind me saying this, but it does look rather last gen or even 2 gens ago, but visuals aside, should be a decent experience.
I will fight for what's rightfully mine. And kneel to no one. I will do all I can to make sure that when I'm done, all will know my name.
You're at an airport. An alien airport run by stock photo dogs, and your fiancé is in another airport across the galaxy. So you get a ticket. 50 tickets if you want.
A comedic walking sim title is An Airport for Aliens currently run by dogs, so enjoy this weird little trailer for the game.
But you do understand dogs. You pet dogs. You pet every dog at every time with infinite hands because you can. You take infinite amounts of money out of the ATMs because dogs don't care about money. They just want everyone to be happy. This universe is full of creatures that want things. Cats that want vengeance, bears with secrets, planes haunted by horses. That web of wants and needs is what keeps you going. It's founded on love. The pure love of dogs and the love between you and your fiancée Krista, meeting each other across galaxies of transit.
Don't worry, little brother. He's asking.
One of the gorgeous adventure titles from last year is Beautiful Desolation, looking like a CRPG but playing like an adventure game, getting PS4 and Switch versions this week.
You have the glow of a wanderer. Wanderers can be kind, or they can be cruel. Which are you?
I enjoy tower defense titles, so Broken Universe Tower Defense is of interest, looking really cute and cartoony, with what appears to be an extensive upgrade tree and will be for fans of the genre. Crying Suns is an impressive strategy roguelite from 2019, getting a Switch version this week. I'm not familiar with this series, but Force of Nature 2 Ghostkeeper is the sequel to a game from 2016 which is pretty popular, where both are sandbox survival titles with an action RPG element, looking very ambitious and got my attention. If you enjoy management titles, Hero Park will be of interest as you build up the titular town to attract adventurers, building taverns and facilities to support them as they go on missions, looking to be a neat entry in the space, although do watch out for the in-app purchases. Mutazione is a wonderful adventure game from 2019, having recently put out the 7 Gardens update, which is worth a revisit and gets Xbox and Switch versions this week. Similarly, Pathway is a wonderful looking pixel art roguelite tactics title that has you experiencing a very Indiana Jones-like adventure, and while it was not well received at launch, the developers have patched it up nicely and rebalanced many things, getting a Switch port this week. I'm not really into survival horror titles, but Room 54 does seem like a decent entry, where a couple take a vacation into a small, remote mountain town and things go bad rather quickly. I covered Suffering when covering Kickstarter titles, being a 1v1 turn-based RPG with unique boss fights, releasing in early access and is one to watch. The Japanese title Sumire also makes it to launch, being a magical narrative adventure where dreams are lost and found, where the trailer is in Japanese but the game itself does have an English translation. A fantastic looking action platformer is The Company Man, coming to us from a Malaysian studio, so Southeast Asia represents, where the fantastic art style plus the interesting theme makes it of interest and will be for anyone who dreads going to office. My soft spot for JRPGs shows once again with the 8-bit excellent The Legion of Maelstrom, one that seems to have quite an interesting combat system due to the UI and will be of interest to fans of the genre. Truck Driver is basically Euro Truck Simulator, but does appear to be less janky, so if you enjoy the meditative driving experience, perhaps give this a go. Let's kick off the top 5 with Struggle for Tauria, another turn-based JRPG that has a good look and seems pretty large in scale with the classic tale of political intrigue, magic, legends and hope. I have a huge soft spot for titles like this, having grown up with so many JRPGs, but this does look to hit all of those classic notes. However, one factor that got my attention on the store page was that actions matter, where examples cited including the homeless person that you gave food to, or a soldier that you recommended for promotion or didn't, which are choices that might have far-reaching consequences down the line, so certainly another layer to a classic genre. The long in development Weaving Tides also makes it to launch, being an action-adventure title where you ride on the back of a carpet dragon, exploring this gorgeous textile world while using your weaving skills to solve puzzles and unravel mysteries, although there is a combat element as well. You're on a quest to find your parents, encountering a whole host of interesting characters in the process, but I love the weaving mechanic in this, showing that there's plenty of room for innovation in traversal and puzzle mechanics. First-person sims have a funny way of blowing up, so Castle Flipper, the medieval equivalent of House Flipper, has you buying and remodeling medieval houses and castles, but the setting makes it very interesting, and with a well-made trailer, I'll leave you to the developer.
So, you all think you are ready to flip a castle, huh? Rome was not built in a day. We will start modest, or we will not cease to dream big, huh? It is not all about brute force, though I must confess that destruction can be a little addictive. In your line of work, you will need to be accurate and thorough. I will expect creativity of you. Those interiors are not going to get furnished by itself. The real artistry is in the details. Speaking of the devil, I hope you are not scared to visit gloomy dungeons or fix deadly war machines, huh? Did I mention galleys? As you can see, I have more than plenty for you in store. That is where the real magic happens. You take your hard-earned coin, you invest it, and reap the fruits of your labor. This is how you make your real estate a reality. And a profitable one at that. Who knows? Maybe one day you will even get to entertain the king.
The open-world pirate RPG in the vein of Sid Meier's Pirates is one of those mythical titles that developers have been chasing for the longest of time, where King of the Seas is the latest attempt at trying to do so. It sets in a procedurally generated world, with islands and treasures galore, where you're the captain of your own pirate ship and adventure on the high seas. It's a classic tale of revenge, as you set out to avenge the murder of your father, looking like an epic naval adventure that is not to be missed.
A 1,000 years have passed since the cataclysm. The Alchemy Empire, all but forgotten. Many seek the lost secrets that lie at the heart of its ruins. Powerful magic, wielded only by the ancient masters of old. Now, evil...
One of the most impressive titles in early access so far has been Solasta: Crown of the Magister, a CRPG title that uses the SRD 5.1 rule set from D&D, launching out of early access after about 8 months. It's a golden time for the renaissance of the party-based CRPG, with titles like Baldur's Gate 3 in early access as well, where Solasta has been tremendously well received so far, so if you've been waiting on this, now's the perfect time to pick it up, taking the #1 spot. To see more of the big picture, check out these awesome videos, and I will see you after the jump.
Without you, surely all will be lost.